everyone. Welcome to the Analytic Moment. I'm Quentin Fisher, CEO of Healthcare Analytics, and this is a series on artificial intelligence for healthcare service providers. Last session, we talked about the basics of big data. Today, we want to go over what exactly is machine learning. Let's first start with the foundation of artificial intelligence. It's any system that can sense, reason, act, and then adapt. And these systems have actually been in place a long time, over 20 years, which have historically been built on a rules-based system. They basically went around and asked all the experts the rules that they used to make their decisions. And these rules were weaved into a program that produced a model. The issue was that these expert systems essentially collapsed under their own weight. The rules got so complex and convoluted, and the systems couldn't effectively account for all the variances and nuances that we see in the real world. So then we moved on, and we started to make and tune rules based on data. And this is where machine learning comes into play, because the machine actually learns based on the data set within it, and it tunes and updates the model, hence the self-improvement and self-learning of the model. The solution works best when we review and alter the inputs, providing new data sets or new columns of data, which we call features in data science speak, right? And feature engineering occurs when we actually transform data into forms that are more easily understood by the machine. An example is a date of birth. It's not very useful to a machine, it's just a date. But transforming that into an age can be highly useful. This is akin to a human and computer being better at chess together than a human or a computer by themselves, right? These techniques require a decent set or size of data, right? And they use more conventional machine learning techniques that have been around for a few decades. And actually, most of the enterprise applications would fall into the category of using these machine learning techniques. Now, there is a new rage in AI, deep learning. And this is actually a subset of machine learning. These are actually algorithms that are built based on modeling the neurons in the human brain. They are more specifically referred to as deep neural nets. And in the human brain, there are many layers of these neural nets. And the cerebral cortex is at the highest level, is built upon many, many layers. And this is where the abstract and logic comes in our thinking, right? The deep in deep learning actually refers to the number of layers in the model. There may be thousands or tens of thousands of layers in these models. And the big innovation to make this possible was the graphical processing unit, from video games, right? This actually gave the compute power necessary to drive the models. And to run these models, deep learning requires a tremendous amount of data, right? And the use cases that use deep learning models currently today are in the areas of image recognition and self-driving cars, where there's far too many rules to program, or far too many variables, right? And a new paradigm of programming was required, hence the deep learning. So to recap, right? AI has been around for a while. It started with our expert systems, which require a lot of work to build the rules and operate with a fairly small data set. Think thousands to tens of thousands of rows. We then moved on to machine learning, where the machine itself started to learn and tune the models based on characteristics within the data. This requires a large data set to work properly. Think of hundreds of thousands to tens of millions of rows of data. And now the new rage is deep learning, or deep neural nets. And these require a tremendous amount of processing and data. Think hundreds of millions to billions of rows of data. So you can see now how big data and machine learning are so intertwined. So next week, we'll talk about a 6-step process to get to real results with your AI opportunities. Thanks for listening, everyone. Please subscribe to the channel. Let us know your point of view and any questions you have in the comment section. Also, get on our mailing list at hcanalytics.net. Take care.